Hello, and welcome back to another Minecraft Let's Play video with me, Elven Dragon. So today you join me while I am marking out the enclosure for our next set of extinct animals, and I've run into a bit of a problem. We've finally reached the time period where life starts moving on to land with the first amphibians, and we have a bit of a problem, namely that these tank walls that we've been building were great for marine animals. They don't exactly do much for animals that go on land. So we're going to need some specialized fences, keep them in, and I'm thinking that that is going to require some beacons. Now I've already fought a couple withers on here already. One just because I had never fought one without a wither killer before, and the second because I wanted to mine out a big area in the redstone pit quickly. But this is going to require a lot of beacons, and quite honestly I'd rather not have to fight the hundreds that it's going to take, because we are probably going to use this fence design for most of the rest of the exhibits that we plan to build in here, and we have at least 5 more after this one. Alright, so if we grab our wither skulls and some soul sand, and we head out over here, so using a tool called our Bedrock, a program created by Rufus Atticus for use in your Bedrock world, I went and found a location that I think will work quite well for what we need for an overworld wither killer. And fortunately, we managed to find one pretty close to where we've already been building, right about here. So if we dig down, basically there are some areas of the world that generate with a pond at bedrock level, and because of this it causes the bedrock to get deleted for some parts, which can leave you with a 1 block, or 2 block in this case, ice section of bedrock here. So we have this pond here, and somewhere in this is an area that we should be able to kill a wither in. So let me get a bit of this cleared out so we can actually move around in here and drain out this water, and I will be right back. I think I found a place that should work for this. I'm going to put our soul sand here, and I want a bolt hole so I don't get blown up by the wither, and this should also protect me from the blue skulls. And ooh, it looks like there's a bedrock wall here. This should work. Won't have to deal with any skulls back here. Looks like I can just stand up here and then just dirt behind there. So moment of truth, this could go horribly wrong. 3, 2, 1. Looks like it's working. Ow. Okay, maybe we aren't quite far enough back to be completely blast proof. So let's dig this back a little bit more. And this should work. It does sound like it is. Yeah, it is killing the wither. I think if we're brave enough, we can smack it a little bit. Yeah, I don't feel confident. Oop, that was a wither skull. This is not good. Let's get some light back here. So let's hop up here so we can hopefully see a little better. And let's eat so we can hopefully get some health back. I don't think it's going to be quite enough to save us. Well, I guess I'm just sitting here until that wither dies. I don't want to unload it because I have no clue if the bug with a wither will go immortal if you unload it is still in the game. So it looks like we still have a little bit of work to do in making this completely safe. I think I want to get a few more withers through this area just to finish cleaning out the area that they can blast out. And once we get that done, we can start to decorate this area just a little bit. Probably going to use mostly obsidian because that won't get completely destroyed when we put a wither through here. Though I think if we put some water down, we can make it so that they won't destroy the blocks. So we might try that. We are definitely going to need some sort of protection or something if we're going to be over here. Either that or we just can't stand in the line of fire. That would probably help. So I think we'll add some obsidian over here, just to make this a little safer. Also, I'm going to need a bubble column up and down here, but for that we need to make sure that we put it in a place where the wither is not going to blow it up. Actually, if we put that over here, we should be fine. But we are going to need a lot more wither skulls. Those 3 I used were my only ones. So we are going to need to go visit the fortress that we used to have to run through to get back and forth between our main base and Stardust Valley. So glad we don't have to do that anymore. Go grab some more. I think I have an idea of how we can get more rather quickly for fairly low effort. Alright, so here we are at our nether fortress. What I think we're gonna do is we're gonna take some of this glass and dye it red, and then we're basically gonna make a bunch of glass panes. Hello, Blaze. Thank you for shooting your fireballs at me. They are not appreciated one bit. So now that that blaze is taken care of, I think we're just gonna place them all along here. I think this should still allow wither skeleton spawns if they spawn on these side guards of the walkways here. I don't quite know the spawning pattern for mobs in the nether fortress. I think we'll take out this side part here. But it should hopefully allow us to find the spawning spots, because fortresses are just like every other structure on Bedrock. They have designated spawning spots. So that means that mobs will always spawn there, and that those are the only spots where mobs will spawn in the structure. And hopefully, by putting the glass along here, we should be able to find them when a wither skeleton spawns. Though I highly suspect a lot of them are going to be on the wall there. This may not fully work, but if it does, it should trap the wither skeletons in between the glass panes. And because they are about 2.5 blocks tall, if I'm not mistaken, they won't be able to move out of them. And then once we have the wither skeletons trapped between the glass panes, thank you, Blaze! I really appreciate being interrupted again by being set on fire. These blazes are going to be the death of me working on this farm. They're more annoying than the wither skeletons. Anyway, as I was saying, once we have the wither skeletons trapped within the glass, we should be able to set up a kill chamber for them, which should hopefully allow us to automate this. So I'm going to go get more of these glass panes in, and then I will be back once we actually have a wither skeleton trapped. Alright, so we have part of the fortress glassed in, and as you can see, we already have some mobs trapped in here. I did decide to glass over the walls because I was getting some mobs spawning on them. I think for now, let's go grab some glass. I should still have some full panes, and we will mark those spots. Actually, we have bone blocks. Let's use those. Ow. Hello, Blaze. These blazes have been a bit of a pain while trying to build this, because they can go under the glass panes. And we're down to 1 heart. And they've already popped just about all the totems I brought with me. Anyway, let's go mark those 3 spots. That way we can know where they are for future automation. I believe the mobs spawn in the northwest corner of the block, which means I have absolutely no clue which block they're actually spawning on, because I don't have a map, and I don't know how to use the coordinates to find northwest. For now, we'll just make do with a manual farm and a 4x4 to mark the spawning spots. So let's see, we got those 2. Fortunately, the blazes are trapped when they spawn on the walls here. Probably do something to trap the rest of them. Let's make sure we can actually collect the drops that we get. Can we not? Oh, wait. Our inventory's full. And then we have this guy here. This will be fun to get the bone blocks in without releasing him, but not too difficult since he is on the corner there. So if we always have a block, he should not be able to be released. So we'll just keep finding spawn spots as we move about the fortress, and we'll just keep marking them off. I still have to do this whole side here and down there. That is quite a few mobs. I'm so glad I have Smite 5 on the sword. Doesn't do much against the blazes, but one-shotting these wither skeletons is quite nice. So hopefully marking out all of these spots will help us get some wither skulls, especially since we don't have to go hunting through the fortress for the wither skeletons. And when they're in here, we don't really have to worry about them sneaking up behind us and inflicting us with wither effect. Especially once we automate this with a trident killer and a collection system. Alright, so a bit of quick looking up about stuff with the coordinates later, and I have found how to figure out which block these guys are actually spawning on. We need the one that is lowest in both courts, so it's this one right here. Ow! Sniper me. Naughty blazes. So as I was saying before I got interrupted by these annoying blazes once again, I believe it is this one here that they are spawning on. So let's try, see if we break that. And now let's put some trap doors up around there. Hopefully we should see one spawn if we have gotten the spot correct. And I suppose we can do the same thing with this one. It'll help to have more spots to test this with. And we can test it with a spot that has a slightly different, and we can test it with one where they are spawning on top of the wall when we have the glass panes over here. We need the wither skeletons be 3 blocks up, so 1, 2, 3. I see you there, Blaze. I wonder if I put a trapdoor on top of here if they will still spawn. I don't know, we can do that as an experiment. That will also keep the blazes from flying out. Do it with this one as well. And I may just put these trapdoors around every one of the spawn spots, just to hopefully blaze-proof this place a little bit, because they are getting really annoying. And it should also hopefully trap the regular skeletons as well. And that will take care of all of the things that are actually shooting at me constantly while I'm trying to work on this. I'm going to go get those in, at least along this side, and then I will be right back. Alright, so all of the trapdoors are in, and there is a marked reduction, and there is a noticeable reduction in the number of blazes that are shooting at me from over here, as well as the number of random piles of fire. So once we can confirm mobs actually spawning in here, or at least where I think they are, we can then hopefully put in a trident killer. So I will be back with you once we actually get confirmation of that. Alright, so I wasn't getting any mobs to spawn here, so I removed the trapdoor, and they started spawning again. So this is the spawn spot. So now, if we break down these trapdoors, and I believe if we put a piston there, and then let's take out that block so we can put in our collection system, and then we'll need to go down another block, and oh, there's only 2 blocks for the walkway here. Good thing we are right next to one of the pillars, otherwise that would be quite difficult to take care of. And then let's make a rail line here for our collection system. This is a little nerve-wracking working 1 block before a giant lava pit, but unfortunately I think I'm gonna have to go under the blocks of the bridge here to get a full collection system in. But I think that this should work for now. Just a super janky little rails. So now I believe if I put a second piston there, now I believe if I throw a trident there, yeah, so that should work in theory, but I don't think it'll work in practice. Because even if I put this on an automatic clock, I don't think the mobs will spawn on the extended piston heads. I will have to fiddle with this. I'm sure if I can get the timings right, I can get them to spawn in there. But that is going to require some testing and fiddling in creative, and that is a little more than what I'm willing to try to do right now, because I am sick of these blazes. So let's head back over to the Wither Killer. Alright, so back over here at the Wither Killer, and I have put a few more withers through here. Not too many, just an additional 5 more from skulls that we collected earlier. Nothing really happened other than they blew up a bit more of the cave. I also got this bubble column in. Goes all the way up to the top, and I think I am going to replace this cobblestone here with obsidian just to make it bit more weatherproof. And then the only things that should blow up on it are these stone buttons that I'm using to hold back the water. Now that we have these sides here that are actually going to be facing the way they're done, that way the next one we put through here won't spill water everywhere, hopefully. The next thing that we have is, I think I'm going to replace some of this gravel that we've been hiding behind back here with some obsidian. Just make it a little bit more blast proof. So fill in some of these holes here to make it a little bit easier to get around back here. And we'll also block that off there. I have a bit bigger area where I don't have to worry about wither skulls flying out at me. So I'm still going to need to decorate up the walls, probably mostly obsidian. But I think I might put some water in with some sea lanterns behind it. Maybe some lava. That might be an option. A bit of lava just flowing down. I'll have to mess about with it to figure out a block palette and to make sure that it's not going to get destroyed every time I put a wither through here. But that is going to be it for today. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and consider subscribing, and I will catch you all in the next one. Goodbye.